All right. Justin Wawrzyniak here, Cash Flow Cowboy. Today, I want to talk to you guys about how to make your offer competitive in this red hot market that we're in. Stay tuned. What we want to talk about first is the offer. So in realtor speak, if you want to call it that, an offer is known as a purchase and sale agreement, PSA for short. Pretty much this purchase and sale agreement is divided into a couple key, we'll call them terms, and let's jump into the most important one, and that is the offer price. If the market is red hot, how it is now, you've probably seen, if you put in any offers, that you're getting outbid by other buyers. And that's because if there is a low supply, which is what we have right now, then usually your offer price is gonna have to equal or exceed the list price. And that's so your price is higher than everyone else's offer. So, I mean, usually that's how a seller values their property. They just want the most money possible. That's a good way to set yourself apart and be competitive, is just simply offer more money. Number two, another good thing is earnest money. So this is really usually just 1% of the offer price, OP here, offer price. What you can do is on a typical property or a typical, if you're a home buyer or something like that, this is gonna be refundable based off contingencies. But what you can do, if you want to sweeten your offer, sweeten the deal, and this is done sometimes on investment properties, is you can make that earnest money, that 1%, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is, hard. What I mean by hard is non-refundable. So that means you are telling the seller that you are a serious buyer and you plan to go all the way through to closing on this. So let's talk about those contingencies that I mentioned earlier. And this is kind of a way to help you become more competitive outside of the offer price. Offer price is number one. This is gonna be number two. So the big contingency that most offers have is inspection. So you're gonna wanna inspect the property, have an inspector go through and make sure that there's nothing really terrible that's wrong with it, maybe foundation issues, structural issues that you're gonna wanna back out. Now, because it's a contingency, you can sweeten your offer by removing that contingency and doing an as-is offer. And what this means is you are gonna get your inspection, but you're not gonna ask the seller to do anything about it. You are accepting the property as is. Now, the other contingency is the financing side of things. What you can do here is, you've heard it a million times before, cash is king. Well, what that's referring to in the real estate offer world is that you are no longer relying on the bank to finance the deal. You are going to fund it with cash. So that removes the bank financing contingency, because what happens is if you use a bank, you are actually your loan has to be approved or you get your earnest money back. So technically this financing with the bank could be 30 or 45 days from when you went under contract, and then they say, hey, no, we can't finance it. You get your money back as the buyer, but the seller just went 30 to 45 days and the property's been locked up under contract and they didn't get it sold. So that's super annoying to them. Now, lastly, something you can play around that sometimes, depending on the seller, might give you a benefit when submitting an offer, is the closing period. So what I mean by this is the day you go under contract to when you plan on closing, you can usually shorten that timeline to make your offer more competitive. So if you can close with all cash in 2 weeks, you don't have to offer as much because you're showing you're a serious buyer and there's a lot more confidence to the seller that you're gonna actually close this deal. So if you shorten this period, that usually helps. Another thing though is it's not always shorten that helps. So think about it. You gotta know what the seller, why are they selling? What's going on in their life? So for instance, if they're transferring jobs, let's say, and they need to sell their house while they move to California or Denver for a new job, the timing might actually be where they want to extend the closing period because they want to link it up with that move to a different city. So just make sure that you're communicating back and forth with the seller and figure out why are they selling and what are some of these terms outside of just the price that you can play with that meet their needs and ultimately leads to the best possible offer and the best chance of getting accepted. So there you have it. That is a purchase and sale agreement, AKA your offer. And as you can see, there's a couple of different things you can do to set yourself apart from all the other buyers, all the other offers out there, and you need to make sure you're taking advantage of all of this if you want to get it accepted. So the offer price, typically the most important. I mean, the seller wants top dollar, but sometimes there's circumstances where they actually just want more of a confidence to close. So that's when you can, make your earnest money non-refundable, or you can remove some of the contingencies such as, an as-is inspection or using cash instead of the bank for the financing. And then lastly, based off of their circumstances as the seller, you could shorten or extend closing time to meet their needs better. So there it is. That's how you get your offer accepted in this red hot market. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, please subscribe, and share with everyone you know. Until next time, Cash Flow Cowboy out.